Evening. I'm here to drop in with all of you and do a collective read for this current lunar cycle that we're moving through. And with this read, we're going to look at what is the shadow? What are we being asked to transform? What are we being asked to hold space for at this time, to allow to be released, and to use that energy to call forward some kind of new light into our life. And what is that light? What is the light we're being asked to build? 33 on the clock when I said that. So much help on hand for this shift. We're all going through a really big shift. We're closing a very important cycle. It's a very important karmic cycle that actually got kicked off back in April and is going to come to a fruition with the solar eclipse on the 25th in October. So very important cycle. What we couldn't see, what we weren't aware of, or what we were unwilling to acknowledge back in April, we're now coming to a place of recognition with that. And I just felt like it would be so good to drop into these energies. It's day 38 of the community Panchakarma here, which is all about owning your fire. So it's about bringing that fire forward out from that darkness, working with those experiences that really transformed our lives, that maybe put us through some pretty fierce tests, made us come to a place of greater truth within ourselves, and bringing that light forward to share something, because that's the value of our experiences. When you go through these experiences, even the really difficult ones, they give you some kind of medicine to pass on in your earth walk. And so I wanted to just drop in around this, and I wanted to offer up a reading for the greater collective, even though I'm including this in the Panchakarma process. I feel like these are energies that are in play for everybody right now. And so just wanted to open up and do a collective read tonight. So we're going to work with Lana Fairchild's decks. What we're going to do is we're going to do a read first with the Kali Oracle, okay? And we're going to see what is it we're being asked to surrender, what are we being asked to release, let go of, what is needing transformation in the collective as we move through this lunar cycle that was kicked off with the Libra new moon. I'm feeling like very Shiva Shakti energies right now. I got that like the kind of, well, it's a hot pink. I'm wearing red. I'm red and blue. Like all about the integration point right now. I feel like that's kind of what we're being asked to do, is really come into a place of integration within ourselves. Ted just shook his head yes, so he's giving the affirmation on that. I'm just really feeling this vibe tonight. What's up, Ted? I told you I don't got no more cookies for you, man. Oh, he's really insistent. All he wants is treats. No, you can't have any more treats. No, not right now. Oh, he's out of control. You might be dealing with somebody out of control, collective. You might be dealing with somebody who's really demanding. Maybe they're asking you for some treats. I don't know. Be careful who you give treats to, What kind of behavior are you reporting? Oh my goodness. Oh, Jai Kalima. What do we... I just wanted to flip right over. Ooh, spicy. Sometimes it just happens like that. It's like, look, we don't need to shuffle. I'll tell you what the matter at hand is. This is powerful. Okay, the first card we have is Chimunda. Okay, Chimunda. And I'm just going to flip out of this light for a minute because I want you to really be able to see this card. Let's see here. Is this it? Yeah, let's try this. Let's try a different color here. There she is. Chimunda. Chimunda is a trauma goddess. She is a form of Kali that helps us make peace with our deepest woundings. 5 on the clock when I said that. There's a lot of help on hand for us to move through this swiftly. It really is about making a radical shift in the consciousness where there is a firm choice made to move into the present. That's all that we're being presented with right now. It's not complicated. It may seem complicated, but it's not. What keeps us in our suffering is this going over old ground, constantly repeating the stories to ourselves, looking back, reflecting on. Now, I understand. In cases of PTSD, it's a different scenario, right? You know, it feels like there's a skip in the record. Sometimes there can be a frisson created in the psychology where it forms like a samskara, a psychic wound. 5:55 on the clock when I said that. With Chimunda on hand, we have an opportunity to heal even issues like this. There's things that can be done for this. I will present something tomorrow when I do the video for Panchakarma. Be on the lookout for it. But I will present breath work, nausea, exercise, something you can do that's really supportive for helping to clear those samskaras that cause the neural loops that keep you activating your trauma cycle, okay? But this is about, we have help on hand to put these traumas to rest by moving radically into the present and experiencing a new way to approach life that frees us from that burden. It's really quite interesting because Chimunda is who I have tattooed on my arm. This is Chimunda. So this for me was inspired by the Bronte quote, he who dares not grasp the thorns should never crave the rose. So I feel like that's a message coming in. Let's move to red. Let's move to red. And right behind that, we have trauma nagmyo. Okay? And to me, this is about really sacrificing, really giving over. See, we have the offering bowl is front and center. And this face, you know, to me, this is about offering over, sacrificing over that which is holding us back and keeping us stuck. Now, usually we're looking at issues of shame. We're looking at issues of guilt. Shame and guilt, I have to say, are the two biggest emotions that keep us attached to our suffering. You know, in the case of shame, you never feel like you deserve to feel good. Right? It's this self-punishing, I don't deserve to feel good. I don't deserve to have pleasure. I don't deserve to even be fulfilled in this life. And that can be taken on through many different types of trauma. Definitely emotional trauma as well. You know, it doesn't always have to be physical trauma. It can be emotional trauma as well. And there's this need, I've really been getting a strong ritual piece, that this is coming forward so strongly for the collective right now. No matter what your faith is, within your own spiritual traditions or within your own simple life practices, you know, even if you are an atheist, even if you don't have any connection to any sense of deity, there's something that you connect with that helps you really access your higher consciousness, that gives you a feeling of being centered, being grounded in your higher wisdom, in your intuition. And these things, whether it's just taking a reflective walk, or spending time on retreat in nature by yourself, whatever it may be. We all have certain rituals, certain things we engage in that help us process what we're going through, help give a respectful space for the experiences we've went through. It doesn't have to be that you're on any kind of occult path, that you're a witch, or anything like that. Even prayer can be a ritual, and creating a real sacredness around that prayer, lighting candles, giving offerings of flowers, bringing out your angel statues or having your rosary on hand, whatever speaks to you. 10:44 on the clock when I said that, but this is about connecting with your rituals to help you transform, give over these things to be transformed through ritual. There's something about this right now that it helps us really come to this place where we can, move out of these constant trauma loops and instead come into the present moment and experience the freedom and the release of that. 11:11 on the clock. Okay? So I encourage you to give expression to these feelings that you're having around your trauma, to create space for ritual that helps you purify the energy and stop grappling with it, but instead give it over and trust that it's going to be held. 11:33 on the clock. And from that place, it's just a matter of really, waiting to come into bloom. Kalaratri, the lotus flower. Look at that crescent moon. That's like, it reminds me of the high priestess crescent moon. It's that feminine wisdom. What is the feminine wisdom? It's intuition. It's being guided. It's being a clear channel. It's having that wisdom. I also see within this, you can still see the fullness of the moon. So it lets us know that this Shakti quality is really something that's brewing through this lunar cycle, okay? Because we just had that new moon. It's going to grow into the full by the 25th. It's ripening. It's ripening, and this is the moment of blooming. We see this with the lotus flower in the background. No mud, no lotus. We're rising up out of the muck, and we're coming into bloom. And what does it mean to come into bloom? The whole act of coming into bloom is an arduous process. There's first the rising up out of the muck, and then there's the weathering the storms of the seasons as, you slowly unfurl those petals. And it's a very tender process. It's a very tender process. Not all buds come into bloom. Not all buds come into bloom. And we can't open with force. We open with gentleness. It's a giving over. It's an unfurling, right? And this is what we're being asked to do. And a big part of this right now involves Guya, Kali. Notice where the hand is. Using our voices. Using our voices. Notice the other hand held up. It's like, wait. I have something I need to say. And I feel like this is the thing that bridges the divide between this healing of this trauma and being able to step fully into the present and that moment of full bloom. It's this part. Wait a minute. The pain, the trauma, I have something to say. This is about giving it a voice and allowing it to have the witnessing it needs to be released in a respectful way. This is why it's so essential to create ritual around these processes. You might not always be able to have communication with that person. You might need to create this closure for yourself. You're doing the work to come into bloom. It's by giving this over to that part of you that's already there. That's already there. That's already the bloom. You just haven't recognized it yet. Ritual is very, very helpful for this, but I also feel this is the part of keeping the throat chakra open and say what you need to say. If you are able to have a conversation with somebody, if there is a way that you need to be witnessed, or maybe you need to use the medicine of what you've been through to help be someone else's light in the darkness, to offer a hand in the shadow, to be a shadow worker. I'm here. Take my hand. I can't fix it for you, but you don't have to go through it alone. And it makes the difference. It makes all the difference in the world. There's something beautiful that can come out of the trauma. There's something beautiful that can rise from that. And what we see is Kundalini Shakti. Okay? This is the unification. This is the conjuncto. It's the union of the Shiva, the Shakti, through the raising of the sleeping serpent. What is the sleeping serpent? The sleeping serpent is the knowledge, rising up the tree of your energy body, chakra system. The Sushumna is the trunk, is the channel. You are the tree of life. And you're a giving tree. You're a giving tree when you allow yourself to expand into that greater consciousness. All right, so we know the work. Let's go ahead and pull a card from the Pathfinder here, Wolf Totem, with this white light oracle, and see what is the path ahead that leads us to fully stepping into this light. What is the path ahead that leads us stepping into this light in this month of October? What is the path for the collective to take that leads us to stepping into this light in this month of October? What's the path ahead? We have Pearl of Sharo. Garuda, Saparna, and we have Anapasis. Such beautiful cards. This is, to me, this Pearl of Sharo is very much, and it's wild because right here we have an eye of Shiva in the background there. That's an eye of Shiva, okay? And this flow of energy, it's very serpentine. I mean, this does remind me of like that seed of creation, you know, that sprouts from the rising of that serpent energy, the Kundalini. And so there's like this treasure. There's this treasure that comes through coming into the present moment, coming into this place of working with the transformational energy, of imbibing a bit of the poison to find the cure, which is all about creating that space to hold reverence around the shadow, around the trauma, what needs transformation, what needs giving over. And it can create this spark of metamorphosis that causes this awakening of this awakening energy, an awakening of the sleeping serpent. When the sleeping serpent rises, then that's when we drink up the sap, you know, from the tree of knowledge. We become enriched by it. Big Cobra medicine, front and center. I'm just noticing the hands, the way that she's holding the hands. There's so much negativity put out around snakes. I encourage you to like just open your mind and research snake medicine, in particular Cobra medicine. Look into it. There's so much wisdom in snake medicine. One thing that's often missed with snake medicine is that it's about being really still and being really quiet and tuning into the more subtle levels. If you've ever worked with snakes, held snakes, they don't like things to be jarring. You have to be very present. You have to enter that space, that liminal space of presence. You can't be in the past, you can't be in the future. They offer this wisdom. It's one of their healing powers. It's quite potent. And we see this reflected further with anapausis. It's like now is time to receive. Look at the hands over the heart, holding like a chalice, like an ace of cups. Look at this, the energy from spirit holding you. Look, it's blocking off your ears to the outside world. It's saying, tune within, listen. It's all going to funnel through you and fill you right in your heart center. You're just waiting on your chariot, and it's coming with Garuda. All right? Garuda is Vishnu's chariot. Vishnu brings blessings. Vishnu brings blessings. So right now, the important thing is to just drop into your heart, listen, create reverent ritual around your shadow, around that which needs to be released, around your traumas, and let go. Allow yourself to receive, because your blessing is on its way.